Hey everyone, it's Andrew from LA Valley College, and today we're going to talk about squaring the head on a vertical mill. On a vertical mill, squaring the head means making the axis of the spindle perpendicular to the table in both the X and Y directions. The head of the mill can be rotated or tilted about the Y-axis and is held in place by the 4 bolts at the front of the head and rotated by the screw at the back of the head. The head can also be tilted forward or backward and is held in place by the 3 bolts on the side of the ram and raised or lowered by the screw at the top. To square the head, we will use a dial test indicator, a precision instrument that measures small amounts of motion in increments of 1/1000th of an inch. The indicator is placed in the spindle and is swept across the table until it reads the same in all locations. Before we get started, turn the machine off or press the emergency stop button. To hold the indicator in the spindle, we need a 5/16 collet. Each collet has a keyway located on its side. This keyway corresponds to a key inside the machine spindle. After cleaning the collet and wiping the inside of the machine spindle, use your finger to find the key. Install the collet, making sure to align the key and the keyway. While holding the collet with one hand, thread the drawbar into the collet using the nut at the top of the machine, but do not tighten it. Install the longer threaded rod from the indicator kit, making sure that the threads point downward out of the spindle. Secure the threaded rod into the collet by holding the brake and tightening the drawbar at the top of the machine. Use the crank handle to raise the knee of the mill closer to the spindle. Install the remaining parts of the indicator holder, making sure that all of the pieces are tight without using excessive force. Then install the indicator itself. Make sure that the indicator sits at a slight angle to prevent damage to the plunger while rotating. Finally, tighten the quill lock to prevent the spindle from moving up or down. So first we measure front to back, or the Y direction. After making sure that the head is approximately square, we put the indicator at the front of the table and raise it slightly to preload it. We record that value and then sweep it carefully to the back of the table, where we see that the indicator reads a higher value. This means the head needs to tilt forward. Due to the geometry of the machine, the indicator must be placed at the front of the table when adjusting. Loosen the 3 bolts and then very lightly snug them to prevent unwanted motion. Then tilt the head by turning the screw located at the top of the ram until the indicator shows the same value that it did in the back of the table. Next, we rough the X direction, repeating the same procedure as before, but this time comparing the indicator readings on the left and right sides. In the X direction, the geometry is different, so we have to adjust it by half of the difference between the 2 indicator readings. After loosening the 4 bolts at the front of the head, we then make our adjustments using the screw in the back. Now that the X and Y axes are roughly indicated, repeat the procedure again from the beginning to dial everything in. Start at the front, re-zero your indicators, and remeasure the Y direction. Only make your adjustments with the indicator at the front of the table. Then remeasure the X direction. The adjustments can be made with the indicator on either side. Finally, double check your numbers. Do another sweep of the table and make sure that the indicator doesn't move more than a few thousandths. Now tighten all of the bolts, both on the front of the head and on the side of the ramp. Watch the indicator to make sure it does not move as you tighten the bolts. Always check your measurements again. Remove the dial indicator and disassemble the holder. Loosen the drawbar only 2 turns, then tap it to release the collar. Always remember to close the box and put your tools away to protect them. There you have it. The head of your mill is indicated and you're ready to go. Check back next time, and thanks for watching.